What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I want to wish everybody a happy Wednesday. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. The 55 weekly EMA is still holding. We'll take a look at that and take a look at what might be going on in the more immediate time frame. Don't forget, we have a 100% free Discord group down in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. If you love crypto, you'll love the community. Awesome community, guys. There's also some affiliate links down there that really help the channel out. Definitely check them out. One of them in there is Unstoppable Domains. There's a big announcement coming for them on Friday, so definitely make sure you tune in for that. Other than that, let's get into the video, see what's going on, guys. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. I do daily updates every single day to keep you in tune with what's going on in the market. Also, make sure you leave your comments. Take a second out, guys. Smash the like button for me. It really helps the channel out. And definitely check out the affiliate links to help support the channel. Also, my wife's webpage is down there, inkyourimage.com. So, all right. Looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, we've been looking at this. This is where I believe we're in part 2 of this cycle here. I know a lot of people don't believe so. People think we're in 3 or whatnot. But if you look back here, after 1, we had a big dip. After 1, we had a big dip. And then we had our rise on 2. And I still believe if we stay above 7,700, we could see new all-time highs this year. And you can check yesterday's video to go into more detail. But I also want to point out on the RSI, I'm going to zoom in real quick so you can see I have this trend line on the RSI coming across. Here is back in 2012, where I'm saying is number 2 of the cycle here. And here is 2019, the cycle here. They both landed on the same trend line. I think this is going to be the same move, just much, much, much bigger. All right, let's go into the daily. So looking at the daily and Bitcoin, as you know, I've been watching this as a bull flag. People are looking at it as a triangle. Zoom in a little bit. We'll look at the higher highs when it's time, if we break this top of this channel here. So let's look at the bearish case scenario first. Looking at this whole thing as a, let me move this up here a little bit. Looking at this whole thing as a big triangle. And if we look at the breakdown, the bearish case scenario, the worst case would be that $4,500, $4,600 range. Highly unlikely. Let's also take a look at this part here as the smaller triangle, descending triangle, and to where we broke out. That gets us to the $6,300 range, guys. That's definitely possible if we break the 55 EMA, which I'll zoom in right now and show you what I'm talking about there. 55 EMA on the weekly is acting as support for us. I do believe this should hold. If it doesn't, then we'll be looking at the lower lows, but that is looking pretty strong to me, guys. I believe it'll hold. And we also have this triangle here, which could be considered a bear flag. We're going to take a look at this closer up and see what's going on with it. You can see, too, the EMAs are crossing here. We had the 21 EMA just crossed the 200 EMA, which is could be bearish, but I'm not going to put too much weight on that right now with the way the market's going. Let's look at the RSI on the daily. Look at this as a falling wedge. If we do break the top of this, guys, that is extremely bullish. And remember, this is on the daily, though. This will take time if it happens. One more thing I want to point out. If we do come back down to retest the bottom of this triangle here, and this seems to be a symmetrical triangle, like I said, could be a bear flag, but I don't believe so. But anyways, if we did come back down, touch the bottom of this, and that would be the bottom of here. But usually it's about time to break out if this is a wedge here. But if we did touch the bottom, that would be hidden bullish divergence, because we'd be making a higher low in the price action and a lower low in the RSI. So that would shoot us up higher. But until that happens, let's look at the more immediate, where we're at now, and we'll start with the RSI. So we had this falling channel that we followed and came up into a rising broadening wedge, fell out of that, came back up, tested it for support or resistance, got back above it, broke back down. We are in a falling channel now, which we seem to have broken out of. Go into the price action and look at it. And we have some measured moves here also, guys. Remember that the 7,700, I believe, should hold here. And if you look here, we came up, touched the top of the triangle, and came back down in this channel, broke out of the channel here, and continued upwards. As you can see now, we have made another rise, almost touched the top of the channel, not quite. So we could pop back out of this channel, come up to touch the top of the triangle, which would probably be around the 83.30 range. If we break up past this, guys, if we break out of this triangle in the upwards, the measured move off of that would be measuring the widest part of the triangle, put it up to where we may break out, and that would get us up to around the $9,200–$9,300 range, which would be retesting the bottom of the channel, or the bottom of the triangle that we broke out of. That makes a lot of sense for that to happen. But if we came down and we broke down from this triangle, the measured move would be about the 6,900, right in this range. So yeah, that's what we need to watch, is this triangle. When that breaks, that's going to be a nice move to play, guys. You got to watch for a fake out on these though, because sometimes it'll break out, it'll be a fake out and go right back in. So how you would play that is you would put your long in right above the trend line, put your stop loss right below it, and if it broke down, you would put your buy in right below the line and put your stop loss right above. That is the safest way to play that. Use tight stops. But like I said, right now we are in this range, and as you can see, we have the 55 EMA acting as resistance on the top, and we have our 8, 13, and 21 EMA acting as support on the bottom. It's kind of just playing around in here. If we do break this here, guys, there is another measured move that we could use. If this could be considered a bull flag, we would measure the flag pull, put it up to where it broke out if it was to break out here, and that would get us up to the $8,300 range. I'm going to put a target there just in case. Keep an eye on that. It's around the $8,800 range. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's where we're at now. Keep an eye on this channel here. We could follow this all the way back down to the bottom of the channel, which would be around the $7,800 range. So keep an eye on that. If we do break up here, the next test of support or resistance would be right around the 83.35 range. So keep an eye on that. If that breaks, we're most likely headed up at least to the 8,800, possibly the 9,300 range. That's where we're at with Bitcoin. I want to remind you guys, my wife's webpage is up, inkyyourimage.com. This is a great way to support the channel and get something back. There's coffee mugs, beer koozies, the signs. There's a few different size signs, different prices. Shirts, hats, all Bitcoin and Litecoin related. And she can put whatever crypto you want on it, or anything you want. If you want to buy someone gifts, put some pictures on them or whatever. She can put pretty much anything on there for you. Definitely check it out. The link's in the description below, inkyyourimage.com. It is my wife's webpage. It helps support the channel. So let's go on to Litecoin. Looking at Litecoin on the daily, I have this falling wedge drawn here, and the measured move of the break, if we break up out of this in this area, the measured move off that's around the 120 range. Let's look at the RSI and see what that's telling us here. The RSI, we were in a rising channel, came out of it in a falling channel, and we have made support on this line here. So it's looking like a wedge pattern forming in here. I look for this obviously as the support. This is the resistance up here. If we do break the top of this channel, that's going to be extremely bullish. And again, that's on the daily. That could take time. Look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, we have a rising wedge here. Rising wedges usually break down, guys, but we could ride this up before the breakdown. So keep an eye on this. We'll look at that in the price action. Also, look at some targets and see what's going on there. All right, so same thing in Litecoin. We had this as a symmetrical triangle. I have changed that now, and I put it more as a ascending triangle. If we do a measured move of, well, let's look at the bearish case scenario first, so you are aware of what we could be looking at. Worst case is from the breakdown up here, measuring this as a flag pull, looking at this as a bear flag, and that would get us down to the $33 range. But that would break us out of the bottom of this with wedge here. So I think that's a little less likely. Let's look at our next targets here. Now, if we look at this as an ascending triangle, we take a measured move of the triangle. And if it was to break down, the bearish case here would be around the $45 range, which would most likely hit right around here on the bottom of that wedge. That would be going pretty far down the wedge there, guys. It is possible. Keep an eye on it, but if we are to break up, this is a very critical area. These are very critical trend lines to watch. If we were to break up from here, I'm going to move this target, since I made it an ascending triangle now, would be up to around the $67, $68 range. Keep an eye on that. If we do break up there, we might come back down, test the wedge one more time before continuing up, if we are able to break out of it up here. But that's about it for today. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Don't forget to check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. Help support the channel, help keep this content free. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by, leaving your comments in the comment section down below, hitting the likes. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head, and tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos so you don't miss out on anything. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.